Welcome back to the Thursday edition of the Ben Breakfast Show. And if you're just tuning in, I, of course, am Kalisha Johnson. And this morning we have been going through the headlines and, of course, talking about the series of controversies that have surrounded Theresa May's government. Of course, the latest being Priti Patel sensationally quitting before she was fired, should we say. And in addition to Donald Trump celebrating his one-year anniversary of being president. Now, of course, this morning, as I promised before the break, we are joined by the first of my guests, and I'm so excited because I'm joined by not one, but two lovely ladies who are here this morning. And I'm very, very happy about that. And of course, for the benefit of you, our viewers, I'll allow them to introduce themselves to you. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Kalisha.
Good morning, how are you?
We're fine.
Excellent,
thank you.
excellent. So, again, as I mentioned, for the benefit of our viewers, can you kindly introduce yourselves, please?
Oh, yes, we will. And we just want to wish Theresa May and her cabinet good luck.
Yes.
All of this imbroglio.
I know.
My name is Loretta Ogboro. As you can tell, Ogboro is the middle name, Ogboro is the daddy's name, and Okor is the husband's name. So it's actually Ogboro-Okor, a tongue twister.
Oh, wow. I love it. I love that.
And Agbonwanegbe is my name. And yeah.
Absolutely fantastic, ladies. So, of course, I know that many of our viewers will be thinking, okay, these ladies are, they're lovely, they're well packaged, but, what do they do? What are they about, Of course, and of course, this morning we are, as you mentioned, talking all things, all things. About all things, and as you've mentioned, Theresa May is in hot water, but we'll talk about her in a little bit because I'm sure that you two have opinions on this, of course, exactly. Yes. Because I know that you, Loretta, you have a fantastic website, and you wear a number of hats, and in addition to having a website, you're also wife, should I say a writer, an actress, everything, But tell us a little bit about what you do and how you decided that you had found your passion in life. Let's start with that.
Thank you. Well done to you and your team for what you do.
Thank you.
You're right. I find these days that I am many things rolled into one. It never really evolved that way. But along the line, I found out that I became a doctor. I specialized in obstetrics and gynecology. But as a very young child, I was brought up by a man who taught me to read. So by the age of 5, amazingly, I was reading books even adults hadn't read. And when you read, you write. When you read, your mind broadens. You go to places you've never been before through those books. So I used to escape, and I started writing very early from the age of 5. So much so that at some point my dad thought, if you keep writing like this, you never become a doctor. And I'm like, why do you want me to become a doctor? So it was, I became a doctor. Along the line, I became a researcher. I have a master's in public health research from the University of Edinburgh. And then I also became a teacher. I've got a degree in clinical education, but I kept writing, and life hasn't always been fair. There were times in life where I had nothing. My dad died when I was in medical school, and I had to fend for myself as a young child. My friend here today is a childhood friend, and she can tell you and second all that information. But then, as I went on in life, from a very sheltered child, the one who had to grow up quickly and have no childhood, and carry on the family to becoming an adult, there was no clear-cut gradation. But then, the sum total of my experiences begin to show me that you are a function of what you've been through.
Definitely.
And then in every society, there are unsung heroes. In your life, there are those people who have pushed you. Those people who have said, go on, even when Kalisha thought, oh, I'm tired. And we need to celebrate those people. There are heroes amongst us. And one day I just thought to myself, let's bring this story of these people to the fore. You know, and that was how Loretta Reveals was born. I didn't have a name. I called her and said, oh, what do you think? I'm trying to do this and I need a name. And I think I'll let Omo take it from there.
Yeah. And so basically she called me like, oh, I'm thinking of this project. I want to celebrate unsung heroes. I want to celebrate people who are there but are not usually celebrated. And then we said, okay, I have series of names. I've thought about series of names, but I'm not quite getting that name that I want. And then I said to her, it's all about revealing people, isn't it? All about revealing, you know, stories about people who have been there, you know, through people's struggles, or people who have mentored people have looked up to. Okay, why don't you just think? I just thought Loretta Reveals. I think that's a name like I'm going with, and I was quite surprised because I know my friend. She's very, very.
I don't want my name.
She does. She's very, very particular about certain things. But I was quite surprised, and she said, "Oh, you know what? I actually like that."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, then Loretta Reveals is it," and that was how Loretta Reveals was born. And then she told me that since I was part of helping her choose a name for it, she would want me to come on board and work with her. And basically, that's how I started working with Loretta and the team of Loretta Reveals.
Of course, absolutely fantastic. Now, of course, as you've mentioned, you celebrate unsung heroes. What is the most, should we say, the most touching story that you can both individually remember from the people that you've had the privilege of being able to encounter?
You know, you've asked a very brilliant question because last year, we're coming to 2 years now, but at the end of last year, we thought we should poll our readers and see what they think, you know. By the way, we run a very democratic setup. We have a board of editors. To be featured, your name needs to be presented to the board of editors. You need to meet the criteria, and at least the majority needs to agree. So it's really very democratic. It just has my name, but I don't really run or control who comes on. And when we polled the readers, we found that the story that most people connected with was the one about a child who had learning difficulties, a child who was born with a rare sort of illness, and the parents were soldiering on, taking care of this child. It was the story that bore The Wind Beneath My Wings, the Ivan Jr. story. And this is the family of Ivan Ibruno and his wife. You need to see that story and how people connected with it. How this family, despite adversity, they have raised this child, and he was a challenge to them initially, but a blessing. And they are using this child to promote, you know, Dandy Walker syndrome. And you know, they are saying that this child shouldn't be seen as any less important to any other child. And they're also telling older parents who have such children that, look, there is hope. So that story was really a fantastic one, and a lot of people connected with it.
Of course, definitely.
On the platform, we've had stories about men, like the most, the man who was voted the most important black man in the United Kingdom, Tommy Lube, is on there. And we also have a story about the young woman who finished school in Nigeria and who started frying akara. She's an entrepreneur. We had one that dealt with the lungs of the earth by someone from Kenya. Access. So it's across Africa, but we find that the ones people connect with most are the human ones, the ones that explore the human element, the humanity in all of us. And I often say that accepting and acknowledging the humanity in all of us is the true religion.
Most definitely. And for you, what's the one story that you really connected with, or that really stood out for you in particular?
The main story I connected with was the graduate who became a furniture maker.
Oh, wow.
Excellent
And
one.
with that story, because I watched a video of him and I was like, wow, I was blown away, because I was thinking, wow, this guy is so talented. He's a graduate. He's an undergraduate degree in Nigeria. Came over to the UK to study a master's degree, but because his father had the furniture business, he decided to say, you know what, I can actually become a very great furniture maker. Like I always say, the difference between someone who is an entrepreneur that just started off with someone who went to school and became an entrepreneur, there's a very big gap. The difference is the fact that he went to school and he's able to take it to the next level. And I looked at him, and then his story just, blew me away. He talked about his journey, and he's doing so well in his furniture business. Making fantastic. He's one of the great entrepreneurs in Nigeria, which I think he's not really celebrated the way he should be, maybe because he's young. But I saw that story as something that, touched me and, inspired me to think that you can actually do anything you put your mind to, no matter the degree. Even if you're a doctor or an engineer, if you put your mind to starting off a business from the scratch, you can actually do that and be successful in it. So I connected with that story a lot.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, of course, I'm sure that you both are familiar with, the Pride of Britain Awards, where they again celebrate people that do things and basically unsung heroes, like you're saying. One of my friends, actually, he won one, but his story was that he was the victim of a lot of racial abuse. He was actually beaten up severely, but he turned that around and he started a choir, and that choir has really done a lot of fantastic things.
Excellent.
So that is one, that's one story that I am able to personally connect with. But I'm sure that your readers were able to just benefit from all of the things
There's something for everyone. At www.lorettareveals.org, what we explore is the iceberg nature of success. So for every success you see above, there have been so many failures, so many losses. But people who you begin to term successful are those who never give up.
That's so true.
Those who were tenacious, those who just kept going on and on despite the obstacles. People who don't see anything negative, and that's the state of mind. So you can't afford to have this kind of place. And you don't engage with this e-space.
That's so true. Most definitely. Now, as we begin to round up, what are some of the things that you would encourage your readers and viewers to take away from your website? What are some of the key things that they will be able to take away and benefit from?
For me, I think the readers should be able to read these stories and just see wherever position they find themselves in. People have been there before, and learn from their stories, look at their failures, look at their success story, and then fit yourself in and know that every journey starts with a step.
Of course.
No matter how long that journey is going to be, no matter the destination you're going to, you have to take that first step. Even if you fail, always get up and start again. So that, I think, the readers should take away from the website. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
It's important that in life, people have a broad view of things. We should, as we go along, begin to dispel our tunnel vision and dispel our stereotypes. On Loretta Reveals, you find out there is something for everyone to connect with. It doesn't matter your background, your religion. It's completely a non-discriminatory place where you go and you find something for you. And I think the key thing everybody who goes on there should take away is the fact that motivation comes to us all at different times in different ways. Some people appear to be completely motivated all the while. But I'll tell you, Kalisha, that's not always true. Even the apparently motivated people still need things to motivate them.
Of course they do.
So when you go on there, you must go away with inspiration. You can't come onto that e-space desolate and you go back desolate. No. it won't happen.
Definitely
The
not,
esteemed
yeah.
board of editors, you'll be surprised. We even got a priest as one of
the
our
auditors,
editors.
yes.
We've got accountants. We've got people from across the world. The technical team is across the world. So the people who are there, they are people who in their own right motivate other people in their daily lives. The stories of people shared are those that have motivated people across the world in different facets. So you cannot engage with this space either on Facebook, on Twitter, and come away not motivated.
Absolutely fantastic. And you know what? Even just by speaking with you now, I'm getting motivated, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Rest assured, that's symbiotic.
No, it definitely,
Yes.
definitely. So, for the benefit of our viewers, how can they actually find out more information about Loretta Reveals, the website, and how they can follow you on social media?
It's amazing.
Please, yeah.
The other day, I was just loafing about, and my daughter was like, "Oh, let me go on Google," and she put Loretta, and Reveals came up.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
so you can start from there.
Yeah.
But the website is it's www.lorettareveals.org. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. There's a very strong presence on Facebook.
And Instagram
And
as well.
Instagram as well.
Just Loretta
So
Reveals.
Loretta
and you'll
Reveals.
find us there.
That's it.
Absolutely fantastic. So, viewers, we need to ensure that you go to Loretta Reveals, because that is definitely the website that will give you the much needed inspiration and motivation that you need. If you are lacking it, you can definitely get it from there.
If you already have it, you can
Exactly.
get
Get it
more.
more.
Exactly.
There's
Yeah.
nothing like
There's nothing
I was
motivation
just
or
gonna say,
Too
inspiration
much.
overdose.
Exactly.
Yes,
You can
too
get
much,
even
yeah.
more, because that is, something that we all need, especially in the times that we're living in. So, Omo and Loretta, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
joining
for
me this
having
morning
us.
For having
and
us.
being both rays of sunshine in this morning's studio.
You're
Thank you
ever
so
welcome.
much. Thank you so much. And of course, if you'd like to find out more information about Loretta Reveals, all you can do is access their website. And of course, be motivated and inspired and even uplifted by all of the stories that you are able to read. We're going to go for a quick break, and after the break, we of course will be joined by some more guests. And of course, we have Caribbean News with Lavina Brown. So don't get anywhere. It's the Thursday edition of the Bed Breakfast Show. Thank